Okay, going into the last round of this first league with the Amuletless Amulet deck. I think I'm seeing some potential. I think obviously this deck is going to be really weak to combo decks like Creativity, but I think there's a lot of combo decks like Living End and as well as the other uh, Cascade decks that Chalice could be pretty strong against. So yeah, I think there's potential here. I think I probably want to do something different than force in the sideboard. Maybe a fourth Beseju, honestly. Like, just cut one force, make it a fourth Beseju for the matchups where there is Blood Moon. Because I think some of the easiest ways to make room is on the land side of things more than the spell side of things, because it's kind of tight with a lot of the ramp and threats being sort of essential for the functionality of the deck. So maybe I'll just swap in a Beseju and see for a second league, see if I can play a little better. Okay, let's keep. This Murktide again? It'd be funny to face Murktide thrice in a row. That way I just don't play anything into counterspell, but I'm using my mana effectively. Don't really mind if this gets countered. I've got a lot of ramp going on, and I'm limited on the remaining basic force in my deck. This might be an end of turn Archmage's Charm from our opponent. Nice thing is we don't actually have to sack the Elder, which could be good with something like Tireless Tracker if we draw it. See if our opponent actually wants to cast that lightning bolt. I like the idea of making our opponent use their counterspell on this turn timber. It might help something else resolve later. Gonna play around the Ragavan dashes with this Secure Tribe Elder. Honestly, if they dash a Ragavan, I'll just trade it with the Elder. We're in a tight spot this game 1, but I think games 2 and 3 should be good. So opponent's got an Archmage's Charm. Opponent really expressing themselves this game. So I think if we Titan, we get Lair and Vesuvan Gruul Turf. We replay the Gruul Turf as, or we replay the Vesuva as a Lair. That might be too slow. Opponent has put a very fast clock on the board, and we don't even have a threat. See if they'll counter this. So the plan here is sack Secure Tribe Elder, hit a Primeval Titan, cast it uncounterably and haste it, and pray. It's the fourth expressive iteration this game from our opponent. I think our new plan is just turn Timber and pray. Maybe they dress down and we get to Beseiju it. Okay. Yeah, that's what happens when your opponent has 4 expressive iterations. You lose the game often. Do 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 do. Would be impressed if we were able to beat Murktide for the 3rd time in a row with this list. That would at least give me some hope that there's something here after the losing the first 2 rounds. Keep. Dismember could be a good one against like a Ledger Shredder. I'll hold this, because if they do play a Ledger Shredder, I'll just dismember with black mana, and that'll use up all my mana anyway. And if we draw something like a Tireless Tracker, it might be nice to have an extra land in hand. Also makes us look slightly more mana screwed than we actually are. Shredder number 2. All right. Okay, opponent's putting shields down. We'll get to endurance, which will get some of these card types out of the graveyard, which is nice. Keep away the Murktide so we don't just die. Also clock them a little. Kind of want to hide this Valakut. It's bad if we draw a bounce land. But like, I kind of want my opponent to just keep leaving up counter magic. And then eventually we just start to like create some Valakut problems for them. And I feel like if I play out the Valakut, it kind of gives away that I've got action. Oh, this is going to be such a big blowout if it works. $40 chess. Bet you didn't see that one coming. Why is there 2 damage on the endurance? Did I miss something? No red mana up. That seems like a good layer attack turn. Blood Moon punishes this play, but they have to have Counterspell. There's just no way they don't have Counterspell. We've also made their life total very, very precarious. Murktide. I'll take a Resolved Primeval Titan. I accept your offer of a Resolved Primeval Titan. Three Murktides in a row going down. Okay. Oh, we still got game 3. Never mind. Celebrated too early. Okay. Gotta stay serious, gotta stay focused. Do they have the Ragavan? They do. Oof, that's a top deck. That is a top deck. I will 300% trade this Sicker Tri-Builder for that Ragavan. Deal. Hand wire down. Okay. I would like to redraw that. Could have chaliced on 0. I think I want to chalice on 1, though. Oh. I guess that's why I don't put it on top. Guess it doesn't matter. If they cast it, it takes one of their clues, at the very least. I'm going to Dismember on their upkeep. It doesn't play around Archmage's Charm, but I'd rather they Archmage's Charm the Dismember than the Turn Timber. It's also seeming like they maybe just don't have a counterspell. There's an Archmage's Charm, okay. So maybe this turn Timber Symbiosis hits something. Yeah, putting the Dryad on top is coming back to bite me. I think I gotta turn Timber over playing the Tracker. I think the Tracker's too slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, that's unfortunate. We at least have a blocker. And we got all those dead cards off the top of our deck. So this leaves me taking 2 damage for 1 turn, but they can't really deal with the Tracker because they can't cast any of their bolts or things. And then I'll have the Lair up as an additional blocker. So we mostly need to just dodge Murktide. And if they attack, we get to crack back with the Tracker at least. So it's not like all downside. And then the Grazer and the Lair hold off the aggression. If we do start drawing lands, it can get out of control really quickly with Tireless Tracker and Dryad. Oof. Okay. Wow, I'm running hot. Mmm. This game is tasty. Oh yeah. This is what I live for. Well, 3-2 isn't exactly amazing, but for a very first draft and beating Murktide 3 times, I'd say we did pretty well. I would call this experiment uh, a tentative success. So the question now is how to improve upon it. Like I said, this is a first draft. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'll probably go ahead and post the first set of videos for people to watch, and then I'll leave it open for some suggestions, because I'd really like maybe some thoughts on this, how I can improve the sideboard, because the main deck I'm actually pretty happy with the main deck, and I'm happy with the chalices, but I think maybe I'm gonna for sure cut a force for another Beseiju, because it's just so free to bring in the matchups where we want it. I mean, we also just like lost to Panza round 1, which is like, you know, probably a bad matchup, I guess. Panza with choke, and we could have played better. I don't know. I'm happy. I had a good time. This was a fun experiment. I'll see everyone next time.